there is a quorum present, three of us. The agenda items, everything that we've talked about so far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, is on hold. Tempe Bridge is being worked on. The culvert up here on Bessie Road, is it Bessie Road, Berry Road? Berry Road, the culvert on Berry Road, I don't know what the status is on that. We talked about it last time. I talked about doing it before anything else was done on Berry Road. The dam is being worked on, so there's nothing going on there. We did what we recommended for asphalt paving for the next 5 years. That's done. I'm not sure, has anything been done about getting the roads ready for wearing surface, Shannon?
As far as ditching and culverts go?
Yeah,
Not yet.
okay, so what? We can look at this, but the ditching and culverts in that list that you made out with Taylor. We'll have to go out to bid, I think.
What is this? What are the contract dates for the sealed bid? Then we get the results on.
I don't know. So we've got that. The 5-year plan is, I kind of think that the 5-year plan is taken care of because we've got the asphalt portion of it.
Yes, I thought we were doing the asphalt in June.
Well,
That is correct. This work is, we have the dates on the RFP, we need to get it, but the work on the base bids is like, I think June through August.
To be done.
Yeah, to be completed, to be actually done.
That's it.
And the work on the alternate bids are like August or I think they were like maybe September and October, maybe even September 15th to November 1st, something like that. It's in the, I think she's gone to get the RFP.
but, well,
What's the holdup with the culvert work in district?
I don't know. We'll ask Shannon when she comes
You
back,
need that?
probably because she has,
Permit.
probably because she has much.
Well, you don't need any, well, I'm sorry.
So you don't,
Mark, for the base bid. Do we need tree trimming on that? I mean, that seems like that would have been trimmed when they did the grind and overlay. Or the grind and base course.
No, nothing was done.
nothing was done, absolutely nothing was done
Good.
on.
The overhead trees were trimmed.
Tree trim, so yes, on the Bessie Road, Green Tree Road.
And Strickland Ferry, that was done last fall.
Right.
The canopy
So they
trimming,
can-
so they can get in and do their
So
work.
they can at least get in and do
And
it.
Ennis, Old Winthrop and Pond,
They did their work.
that was the
2
year
years
before.
ago, 2 years ago, whatever.
Oh, was it 1 year ago or two?
Still a bunch of
Okay.
things to be done though.
So the canopy needs to be done before the contractor
I
comes
don't
on those
think it
roads?
needs to be done before.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, you're
I
right,
think this
there's,
work needs to be done, but they paved him 2 years ago without doing the overhead canopy stuff.
Right, but they probably shouldn't have, is what I'm getting at, is a
Oh.
lot of that should have been done. Looks like we're
Well-
always behind on our work. We want
well,
something
yes.
to go
the,
backwards.
but the canopy trimming, as
That
I
can be done
understand,
after
the
paving.
canopy trim,
Rubber tie it.
Yeah.
the canopy trimming,
Unless you bring a grinder in.
but the canopy trimming is to permit their equipment to operate.
Yeah,
correct?
the other, the 3 roads before,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
couldn't
okay.
dump for trucks.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, without looking, I think that they can dump trucks on these roads, so tree trimming, yes, but culvert work needs to be.
Needs to-
So what hasn't been put out yet is this listing that you did with Taylor. To do the culverts and the ditching and that kind of stuff. That's not gone out to bid yet.
Right, I'm curious, because this was done on March 31st.
Well, okay, so. And I'm not really, so Shannon, the bidding on the culverts and ditching and that kind of stuff for the roads that are to be paved, the 6 roads.
Mhm,
That has not gone out yet, is that correct?
correct.
Okay. Then we really can't, it's not thought that we should pave until that work is done.
Right.
Okay. So at this stage, we're in limbo with that work being done.
What does that mean?
It means that we don't recommend paving until that work is done, and that work hasn't gone out to bid yet, so our paving is in limbo until the culverts are done. That's what,
Okay, so you're, so you're suggesting not to make an award?
we can make the awards as long as we know that
Set a
the,
start date out for it.
as long as we know that the contracts are gonna be bid on for the work that has to be done
They work.
by a crew that went out to look at
I
it.
can't speak for them.
So, yeah.
What dates are on the dates for the base bid work? May I see this one? Thank you.
Okay, base work can be done anytime, sir.
No.
We're not doing
The
the,
base bid is what you need to do the culverts for.
we're not doing the reclaim, we're talking about the overlay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, when we're talking base, to me, that's when we reclaim and put the 2-inch base down.
Yeah, but the contract is the base bid with alternate being the base.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then what the wearing surface then is what we're talking about as being the base.
Contractually is the base
Okay,
of the contract.
that's fine.
This is just okay.
Versus space. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, just so long as,
it's
Yeah.
completed prior to August 31st.
Where they
That's
start
that's what I was looking
They don't
for.
have a start date yet.
Yeah.
It's-
okay,
Yes.
so anyway. Yeah. So the base then cannot be done, should not be done, and our recommendation is don't do it until the culverts and other work has been done. That was, and we have a listing of that work that they consider has to be done. That was made by Taylor and Mott. Am I right when I say that, John?
Yes, I believe so.
Alright, so. What we were doing is just going over what we haven't. What as infrastructure committee roads person done is what there is left to go on the agendas. For the future. And we know that we know that Tempe Bridge is being worked on, we know that the dam is being worked on. We know that the culvert on Berry Road has been talked about. But that's gonna come up when we do the base. When we reclaim. So I'll go reclaim the base. So we really don't have a whole lot to talk about the 5-year plan. At this stage, and that's the old business that I know of. Is there any other old business that we need to think about? Or unfinished business?
There's all kinds of old business, but
Well, but nothing that's nothing that's come before this committee at this time.
yeah, it was stuff that I brought up in this committee on the first meeting and I'm still waiting for answers for.
Okay, well. Yes, okay,
I don't know if that's.
I didn't get,
What
well,
category
that's old business, but I didn't write it down, so that's my fault, all
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What I did have down for new business on this for today, which would come later on, is telephone poles.
Yeah.
And looking at a rock sandwich for Dexter Pond Road for 300 feet. And in lieu of, and before we do that, to put some, and this is new business, but I'm just gonna say it, and to put some crushed shale down for 300 feet, 20 feet wide, 2 inches deep. Over the bog area for this year.
In the past, what we've done in that area, or in similar areas, that area was scheduled to do it, and then it got somehow delayed.
Yeah.
Was we put a layer of geotextile down. Then we put a layer of approximately 12 inches of good clean gravel.
Mhm. Yeah,
And then we top it with 4 inches of the crust
right,
ledge, and that has fixed all the previous
but,
spots similar to that at an affordable.
right.
Bearing in mind that we're going to rebuild that whole road though.
Well, for a Band-Aid, I'm gonna recommend we put down 2 inches of crushed shale. And then plan for future to put down the stone envelope that you just described.
Wouldn't that just disappear now though?
Yeah, it's gonna disappear really. quick.
Well, it's gonna disappear, but you know. If you've driven that road, we're gonna be finding shocks.
Oh, it needs.
Anyway, so let's stop.
Yeah.
That was new business that I had thought about. And we are in, so now what we're talking about is. If I'm right, is we're gonna be talking about the bid for the base. The 6 roads that we wanna put the 1.5 inch on.
Did you tally the ads at all?
The what?
The ad alternate quotes?
They're down
Yeah, they're
bottom,
at the bottom.
bottom, alternate the bottom.
Is there
Yeah,
some,
but there's not a total,
No,
right?
there wasn't a total. It was just a kind of à la carte. Depending on what their base bid for the total base bid came in at, depending on how much that costs, then we could assign additional work pending how much money. we can-
To the
I
base
can't,
bid,
yeah.
we wouldn't a la carte.
You-
All over.
you may pick. We can pick one or more of these add alternative items to award at this time. And that's what she's saying by à la carte, so we kind of need to, it would be great if we had this on an Excel sheet, but we don't.
Right.
And so,
My question is, Pike
we,
is low on the base bid, right?
well,
So would we call all things for the à la carte, like pick a road with one of them's cheaper on than the other? So I see Pike is more money than Northeast, say, on Berry Road. Would we call Northeast to do Berry Road, or that's my question.
Yeah, I guess the question that I'd like to ask at this point is, how much money is there in the budget? to Do these projects, is it still that $600,000 that we talked about?
Well, we weren't planning on allocating all 600,000 at this time.
Well,
But-
but that, there was a number 600,000 that was.
the amount that was left
Yeah,
in the capital reserve account for road construction is approximately $692,000. Additionally, when I asked Lynn to look at a expense revenue report as of the last time that they put in the unspent balance on the road maintenance account is around $170,000.
As of when, though?
As of whenever the thing is up to, probably last month.
so
Yeah.
that will include all the ditching.
And so,
Hasn't been done
And
yet.
any maintenance, right?
And
Any
so-
Maintenance that we have, anything
Yeah,
else, that's,
now you're all paid off, right, on your plow contract? Yeah,
Yeah,
so that should be, so there's $170,000.
I think the grading contract is
Yeah.
expired.
Well, the grading, ditching, all that stuff comes out of there.
yes.
Okay, so, and my understanding of what the treasurer desired for purposes of her cash flow was, and that's why we did these on base and alternate items. She would be more happy if the actual money going out the door before August was in the $400,000 range. And the balance of that after August, our taxes will start being paid,
October.
and the balance of that can be, can come later. Yeah, I guess, what was the performance dates or the performance date for the alternate items?
From August 31st until October
Yeah.
15th.
Yeah, and so that was the deal. She said, don't hit me with a whole 692 in June. Let's try to keep it in the 400 range in June and the balance later.
Is
Now-
the 170,000 available?
The 170,000 is available,
So we've got 5,700, 570,000.
but the 170 is earmarked for road maintenance and you've got grading,
Yeah,
gravel. I'm assuming you
Okay.
could put these culverts that you're talking about under road
Roadside
maintenance.
yeah.
And so that'd be now. I'll just say that. I can't deal with this without unit prices. The reason I say that, here's why. Unit prices lets me compare this bid with what we paid in the past, which is good from a curiosity standpoint. But more than that, it's good to know if this price is much lower than what we paid last year, did we leave something out? Okay. Also, I want us to make sure that there's no extension errors. And so I requested unit prices on the bid abstract, but that didn't happen. And without unit prices, I'm not able to do anything with
They
it.
don't have a per ton price?
We do.
Yeah, but it's not, we're not sure.
Here are writing down all of these were all said out loud, and so it was just a lot. And to sit there and add a whole nother row onto every single
We
one
had-
of these,
yeah.
it was just a lot. We
had-
already took till 4:45. Took 45 minutes
Yeah.
just to write through all of these.
My understanding of a bid opening is that a bid opening is an event where the sealed bids are opened, read, and recorded. And that means all the bids. But we don't have the unit prices to look at. And the unit price is how the payment is made, and the unit price, the per ton price, I'm just saying, I don't have it here to look at, and then we can see like, yeah, I'm gonna see, yeah, no, we have it, we have it.
Each person would take one contract and go around and look at it and then rotate it around. If you
Yeah.
have any
Yeah.
questions, this is your opportunity to look at these and kind of compare. And just take one and write it down if you have any questions or anything. So here, I'll pass one out.
I want it on a bid abstract.
Okay.
That's where it should be, so we can look at it without passing papers all around the table.
Alright, so, am I right when I say we have $500,000? That we can spend on roads to do the culverts? And the rest of the work that's gotta be done to prelim,
I think.
and to do the base course.
Mhm.
Is that right? Is that right and feasible?
I believe it is.
Okay, so if, for example, if we take Pike at 300,000. That leaves us 200,000 to do the culverts.
Well, it's a lot more than culverts.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying culverts as a umbrella, okay?
Yeah.
To do.
All the other stuff.
To do the, okay, to do the prep work. To
Yeah.
do the prep work, that gives us 200,000 to do the prep work.
But some of that 200,000 may be spent out of the 170, is what they said.
Well, that, I'm figuring that, because the treasurer only wants us to spend 400,000.
Well,
And we were just been told that we can spend 170,000 for gravel and culverts and all the rest of the stuff. So if we knock that 170 down to 100,000, that gives us $500,000 to do the preparation work and to do the base.
excuse me.
Sure.
And yeah, and what I think we need to know is that 170, that includes grading and ditching and those things that are under the road maintenance deal. And there is a culvert line under there too, and I don't know if it means these or if it just means unplugging culverts, but anyway, those things, whatever that we would do in the second half of May and June, that needs to come out of that 170,000, and then the balance of that would float over into the road reserve on the 1st of July.
Previously with culverts, and I don't know if that's the direction it's gonna stay, but the culvert price was the purchase of $5,000 worth of culverts.
Yeah.
And then after that, they went to who put them in and
Yeah.
where they went, all that other stuff. Because we save about 50% by inventory.
By storing them.
Right.
So,
Back to the bid situation. Did we give them the tonnage per road?
We did, but one of them, and that's why, to look at the bid, somebody can, and I'm assuming they all, but yes, we gave them the tons. One guy went around, and I was here, but I've heard this one guy went
Right.
around with Shannon and decided that they measured and thought we had underestimated, that our estimate was wrong. And I don't know what he did or she
Yeah.
did. I don't know if they changed the
Yeah.
quantity, but we put the tons. For the base bid items, for the alternates, we put the square yards for the reclaim and the tons for the base course.
So at this time, it's a safe assumption that they all bid on the same tonnage.
I think so. We just need to see, that's why we need,
If the tonnage wasn't right, we may be cutting ourselves short when they come in and go, hey.
well, they're paid on the basis of actual tons installed, and we should have way tickets for that. Our payment provisions that was put in the contract says that, but it also says that price can't be more than 105% of the contract amount without having some agreement.
Yeah.
And approval.
Good.
And so you might have, you could have a 5% overage, and you could have more if they're running over, then they might say, hey, this,
But they could,
this quantity's
if we
wrong.
hadn't inspected it, you say, hey,
But yeah.
we're running over,
Yeah.
this is why, and
Mhm.
that person could say, I
Yeah.
understand, and I agree to go forward, or
Yeah.
call and say, what are we doing here?
But really, these amounts, I think, are estimated amounts, because the actual amount that's paid is on what they put down.
And they do, all of these companies do a really good job of making sure they're close to the budget of the money.
They deal with it.
They mark it out,
Yeah.
and they know what tonnage they're supposed to be in what increment
Yes.
in the road, they keep an eye on it.
So at this stage,
Did they bid these thinking that on a basis of where bidding is if we're doing it all? I don't know if it's even conceivable that you would
Well,
hire,
no, I don't
you'd
think
hire
it is.
Wellman to do this part and then say, okay, Crooker, you do this one,
Right.
Pike, you do that.
I think you would be, if, I think,
They aren't gonna come into town for one little.
You-
Right, exactly,
You know,
that seems like
Yeah.
a reasonable, but I'm just asking. a
and
question.
I think you could need to look at the future. You know, one of the reasons that I wanted to look at unit prices is because when I look back here, I've been told, and I haven't seen the documents,
Good.
but I've been told that in the past, we've awarded to other than the low bidder.
yes.
Yes,
Yes,
We have,
and was it Pike Industries that we
Yes.
awarded to at a
Yeah.
higher than the low
They
bid
were
price?
outside, but now they're going the other way.
Okay, now wait, so
Things change.
here's what this shows us. Okay, in 2023, Pike Industries was awarded a contract at $110 or $105 a ton. When we left off all states at $83.25 a ton that they bid then, and we awarded to Pike, okay?
you want,
Now,
you wanna know the reason?
no, just
Okay.
let me, I'm gonna tell you my story. So then in 2025, the next time,
yeah,
Pike bid $114, okay? All states bid $83.25 and we awarded to all states. This time it'll be interesting to see what Pike bid. If Pike underbid all states, I can see from this, and if Pike underbid all states, that tells you why you should award to the low bidder unless there's a good reason not to,
and there is. a good
because,
reason.
yes, okay,
The good reason's right out there on those roads.
yeah.
I'll take you
So
anytime.
you don't like all states, so you don't like all
I
states.
like Pike,
Well, Pike was low this time.
yeah,
But also what I'm saying is Pike didn't have the expectation this time that you were going to give them the contract, which you've done in the past. Even though they weren't low, you gave them the contract. Last time they lost the contract because they weren't low. This time they come in low.
Is that-
What does that tell you?
the difference last time was
Yeah.
enormous, and the bid went out really late,
Yeah,
so that tells me Pike had a full
Yeah.
plate, and
Yeah.
didn't want our work.
Yeah.
And all states didn't have a full plate, and they were willing to take our work.
well, but that's,
But I don't think all
Yeah.
states, I don't think you're comparing apples for apples, and this is just
Yeah.
me talking between all states and Pike.
what I'm talking about the way Pike acted. We'll see what they bid this time when we get the unit prices. That's what I want to see. And Pike didn't, they raised their, in 23, they bid 105 a ton. In 25, they bid 114 a ton.
See the 114, okay, 114 was over, okay.
Yeah. But it'd just be interesting if when they lost the bid, instead of being awarded the contract at other than the low bid, when they lost because their bid wasn't low, let's see how their bid came in the next time.
So the reason that in 23 that it went to Pike was because we did not have a good, warm, fuzzy feeling about what Allstate could do.
Mhm.
And so we went to the high person because we didn't know
And
Allstate at the time.
the percent was low.
And, you know.
They weren't low bidder, but the percent that they were above was nowhere near what they were this point.
It was,
But anyway,
Yeah.
but that's why we went to Pike in 23.
This time
And
there was
then
an 80,000.
Having other people here who had worked with all.
Not this time, last
Said
time.
they could do as good as Pike.
Mhm.
That's why we went to
Also,
Allstate.
your answer's right here in the number. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't even need the tonnage number to see the
Yeah.
difference. I mean,
no, but that tells me,
Yeah.
290 to 4.
yeah, but that doesn't relate to the 110, the 120, the 114. Those tells me how it does, and that's why I wanted to see, that's why I wanted to see the unit price. I want to see, for example, did Pike give us its all-time low bid right now? That would be interesting to find out. Because then, you know, when they believe there's competition, you got a better price.
The tonnage numbers are right here.
Yeah,
I'm just worried, we're throwing tonnage numbers out now. I didn't think we were gonna just
we,
put tonnage on it.
It's not set, it's still per ton price.
it's a per ton price, but it's where you gave it the estimate. And
Okay, so these could fluctuate.
Well, they're gonna fluctuate, they should
it's
fluctuate.
the actual,
So
yeah,
you do need in Henry's defense, you do need the tonnage amount, so you can, when you see it gonna fluctuate, you know what might be coming at you.
well,
Well, yeah.
well, there's no defense to it. It's just the bid is unit prices. I don't know why the hell they're not on, I don't know why they're not on the abstract, but they're not.
Understood.
But, the tonnage, Dave, actually Pike Industries has an asphalt calculator. And you put in you put in the length, the width and the depth.
And it comes.
And it tells you how much tons, and that's where those ton numbers all came from, and maybe they rounded up, if it came out, 5,938 tons, we might have put 5,940 or whatever,
The multiplier for that is 0.0061.
yeah, well, I like where I just stick in the numbers and it gives me an answer.
For the minutes. So as.
So Pike is low on the grinding as well.
So
Yeah.
as a
On this
committee,
over here.
as a committee. Do we ask the town if they want our recommendation on which one of these to take?
I thought that's
For a
what-
bid?
I thought that was part of our rules.
So that was why we're meeting today.
Well, I know, but we've done so much other talking that at this stage of the game. We as a committee need to make a decision then about where we think which one this should go to.
With the bids, go that should, and
Could I-
have a whole pack of bids.
I think she's making an abstract.
Okay, anyway, so. And then, and then, once we make our recommendation, then the town was gonna do what they wanna do anyway.
I guess we'll wait to hear back from her first.
You know what I think is really, I think the recommendation on the contractor, but also the recommendation on an order on which you all are recommending these grind and base roads be done.
We've already done that, sir.
Okay, but now you have prices. Some you may be able to afford, some and not others. You got the prices here.
Right.
And, so looking at the prices, let's say if we're gonna award to Pike Industries, you've got these prices. You'd like to put in these 3 roads or
Yeah.
these such a roads, I think that's what,
One thing we're missing, Richmond Mills, we need to add that back on somehow.
We do. That was,
We pulled it.
that was left off this.
Right, but we haven't looped it back in anywhere, so.
Well,
That needs some of that, when you talk about prep work, there's your classic prep work.
okay, anyway, Richmond Mills was left off of the bottom portion of this sheet. What we had said was we were gonna do Barry and Richmond Mills at the same time.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Richmond Mills got left off. So,
I'm still saying we need to get that culvert done on Berry Road and let it set for a period of time before we go over the top of it.
so our priorities to do the bottom was Hartscrabble was number 1,
Okay?
Fairbanks was number 2.
Right now, number one.
See.
Hartscrabble was number 1, on that piece of paper that you have in front of you, Dave.
Okay.
Hartscrabble is number 1. Fairbanks was number 2.
Mhm.
Richmond Mills and Berry Road was number 3. And Lake Shore Road was number 4. And that's as far as this piece of paper takes us. But that was our recommendation to the town.
But we need to add these 2 together. So that's. Okay.
My thoughts are on this whole thing is that if we wanna do one that's gonna be more expensive, I would prefer to do them in the priority we gave them. And carry over money for a year, so we've got the money to do number 5, which.
Or maybe.
Do I make sense?
Maybe we do 1 and 2 and let 3 and 4 sit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I don't think we ought to change our priorities just because of money. I don't think we ought to go down and pick a low value one. That doesn't cost a lot. And it has a priority 8. Over saving money and doing a priority 4. That's my thought, and I'm not sure how you gentlemen feel about that or
Well, I
not.
disagree. for a couple of reasons.
Okay,
One is we're too far behind to ever let anything not happen.
okay,
So that would be a bad reason not to do that. Number two is the budget committee is cutting our budget and the select board for money that hasn't been spent. Because the work wasn't done. The work wasn't done because it didn't get done.
Okay,
The
I
work still
understand.
needed to be done.
understand that.
So I don't like to see
Yeah.
that they're gonna take it
Yeah.
away.
Well,
Okay, so you
yeah.
wanna do a low priority,
If that's,
inexpensive job. And not
Yeah.
carry over
Yeah.
for a higher priority expensive job.
unfortunately,
Okay,
Mark,
and that's fine.
Hey, Mark,
as I agree with you, but
Mark, let me tell you my rationale, because I'm the guy that was saying 250 for roads. And it wasn't necessarily that you didn't spend the money, although that is a problem. As a taxpayer, you're taking my money to do something and you're not spending it. I get it. Okay, but that wasn't but that wasn't the whole thing.
yeah,
We had an extra $75,000 for the fire truck. We had an extra $50,000 for the Tempe Bridge. We have an extra $25,000 for a school consultant. We had an extra $15,000 to look at the LG on the lake.
And legal.
And I said- And I said, look,
Legal, it's a big.
it was the same, it was 60 both years. It didn't go up. But, and so my deal was, hey, we've had a lot of money that we didn't spend, but now we're spending it. We're fixing roads that you guys on your plan had out in future years. They're getting fixed now. And I said, for 1 year, let's just cut the roads back to 250. And then next year, we won't have an extra big fire truck and we won't have this and we can get back there. Yeah, but that was my deal. It wasn't all because you didn't spend the money, although that is part of it.
Okay.
We tried. to
And I'm
spend
right, hey,
Where's your stick?
Huh?
the- No, we don't need no stupid
Yeah.
stick. We tried to spend the money,
Mhm.
but because of management
It did,
rotation,
it just didn't happen.
just didn't happen.
Okay.
But.
And we had a schedule that wasn't followed. So the work that we did as a road committee just fell through. It was basically a waste of time because we didn't have the staff to get the work done.
but here's what, an answer,
Dave, please.
no,
When it comes to capital and roads, we have a lot more roads than we have money. We have a lot more projects than we have money.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with keeping money aside and letting a fund build. So that when we go do the big build on Dexter Pond Road or some of these others that need some major reconstruction, we've got a nest egg. So we've always, in the past, we'd always had the magic $300,000 in our head. We went through bonding for a period of 7 years. With 300,000 being the magic number to pay those bonds down, that at the end of 7 years, we would be allocating the 300. What happened was we got the 600, we were so far behind. So the 600 kicked in. Then there was the 450, but we didn't spend it because of what Mark was saying. Now we're back to the 300 moving forward. So even though we have that money in that capital account, you don't have to drain it. Capital accounts are savings accounts. So you want to have something built up over
But
there.
in agreement with
If it-
Henry, my tax dollars, if I
Yeah.
wanna put money in the savings account, I'll put it in there
But-
myself.
but here's the thing, if you're saving,
Giblets.
but Dave,
Henry, please.
if you're saving for a fire truck, then you're right. It's a sinking fund because you're gonna have to pay $500,000 all at once for the fire truck. If you're saving for roads, you have roads each year that need to be fixed, that you use that road reserve to fix as you go
Big
along.
ones are out in the future though, Henry. The big ones are coming at us.
Well, then maybe we need to take a bond issue. If there is a big one,
That maintenance is not getting done, and it's
Yeah, yeah.
affecting our infrastructure, because there's roads that are undermining right now.
now,
So that is where we need to come in with a 5-year plan.
5 year, let's say 6 month
Well,
plan.
I just, but,
It's a now plan.
okay,
We-
then,
I went on a tour, and we came up with a list on March 31st. And that information is not out to bid yet. Not only is it not out to bid yet, but our website is so poor, if it was out to bid, you can't find it. All the other towns have a thing, RFPs, you tick on the tab, see what they got to bid. We don't have that.
alright.
back to your business on these roads.
Okay,
Okay, if Pike Industries is the person you go with, okay, and you award all the base items, when you add your number one hard scrabble, that brings you up to a total of 362,015.
You add that onto the 290, Henry?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
telling you, that's what, when you add hard scrabble to the 290, you spend 362,015. When you add Fairbanks, you're up to 528,121. And so, 528 from 692, that's about 170. If you spent the whole 692, you could probably add Berry Road. If we have enough money, if there's enough money in the unspent road maintenance fund to do all these culverts and stuff that you're talking about. If the 692, if the 692 only goes on this sheet.
Yeah.
I think you could probably do, well, let me add that and see what it is. It's 620, let me add.
And now we're talking just the 2 inch, the reclaim and the 2 inch base, is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's like the 14,000.
890.
Might add them
Yeah,
together.
gonna add both those numbers together.
You gotta add them.
See what's hanging at the,
Well, I know, but the B is
Okay.
the B is the one, is the inch wearing surface.
No, the B's your base force.
B's the base.
Oh, that, okay, so that's
B your binder.
reclaim and base, okay.
Grind
All
and binder.
right, I appreciate.
If you do everything except Lake Shore on this sheet, now you need to add some contingency, but then if you did all this, it would be $653,400.
excellent.
Okay,
We
does
have
that,
that real money in those accounts.
does that,
I
does
still
that,
question,
does
do
that
we really
include
have
Richmond
that?
Mills?
That is. the-
No, Richmond Mills needs to go out for bid because you guys took it off, to my knowledge, it didn't get put back in. I know you kind of discussed it. The RFP went out for people to look at and nobody said, where's Richmond Mills Road? Richmond Mills Road right now is off the table because it wasn't in the bid package. Because you guys took it out because there had some cracks or something in it and you wanted it. Richmond Mills Road originally was in a base bid item for an overlay.
So it doesn't have to be in the bid package for us to say, and we want you to do this at that rate. Does it?
I think you probably could. I don't know that it's a good, and it's fine.
We have their prices.
And one thing that I would suggest, or also if you did Richmond Mills instead of one of these others. I don't know if Brian has gone out there and looked at it. That road was reclaimed, correct? And now you're saying,
Was not reclaimed, it was overlaid,
It was shipped.
just shipped.
oh, okay.
Only
Okay.
shipped.
Yeah.
We did it and we knew we were putting a Band-Aid on it and wasting money.
Then how come that we had it on the list of 7 for another 1-inch overlay? It was originally on that list.
It was, because it was an overlay of everything we did the year
We
before.
changed that at last meeting.
You did, but I was wondering, okay, because,
For
When
what
Taylor and I
Okay,
did
so-
the survey,
okay.
we said, whoa, timeout. We
Okay.
can't put any more hot top here.
No, or that's right. See, since it was on for an overlay, I thought it had been reclaimed a year before.
Just it was part of the SIM package. from the
Okay,
year
okay.
Can I interrupt for just
Yeah.
a second? Sir, are you here for a specific reason or you just want to listen to us talk?
General interest, I'm, concerned.
This gentleman is Taco Brown, who lives on the Tucker Road,
Yeah.
and if it's something,
I think you're the only one that really does not know me, everybody
Yeah,
else does.
okay, I probably should, because I live in South Wayne, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright, so my question, because we're gonna be talking about this stuff, is there something that you want to bring up specific to this board, or did you just wanna be here as an observer?
A little bit of both. I would like to learn more about what's going on with the road prices and everything.
Okay,
But when it comes to the roads, I have two specific, ideas. First of all,
okay, let me stop and say, gentlemen, is it all right if we take?
Absolutely.
Here, and then we'll work on this afterwards?
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
as we've seen with climate, we're getting more extreme rain events. And so, I think when it comes to culverts and replacing culverts, we need to set a standard of bigger. Now, how much bigger, I don't know, that's not my expertise, but what any culvert that we. Change out in the future needs to be bigger than what's there. Somebody somewhere can figure out. You know, what that's gonna be, and it'd probably be specific as to the location of the culverts, but it's just planning ahead.
Okay.
Because we know it's gonna blow out if it stays the same size. As always, the town manager knows, I'm always concerned about, the dust situation on Tucker Road. Because of the, strawberry farm. And the rest of us end up, dealing with the dust. And looking at, Tucker and Strickland Ferry, roads this year. I'm not certain that we really need to do, grading. There's one small spot over by, Bob, Diamond's, driveway that. The gravel, we're now down into sand. So that's pretty nasty, but other than that, yeah, there's a couple of, potholes right. At the end of the pavement on both Strickland and Tucker Road. Those have been there forever. And the rest of the road, I think is pretty darn good. I'm not sure that it really needs to be graded this year. But that's for somebody else.
So what do you wanna do then?
Well, I would like somebody with more knowledge than I. To take a look at the road and say, okay, I agree, it doesn't need to be graded.
Okay. If we don't grade it, what do you wanna do with the money?
I have no idea, that's not part of,
Well, you were talking dust problems?
Yep.
So are you talking putting more calcium chloride down? Is that one of your recommendations to us?
I don't know what your problem, I don't know what your standard program for dust control is.
We don't have one.
Okay,
Anyway, but but are you asking for more dust control on these two roads?
I think it would be good to,
Over and not do the grading?
my opinion,
Okay.
only me.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, my opinion is, I don't think it needs to be graded. If we have the ability to do more with dust control, I think the residents would appreciate it.
Okay.
87 a ton. These are the tonnage prices in the past.
It's, see, that's why, well, no.
I'm not,
Thank you for.
No problem, so,
I can address a few things here, I'll help you address them, are we addressing?
yeah, let's work on it with
Let's.
Mr. Brown then, and then we'll go back into the stuff.
Yeah, several years ago, we started a culvert change process or whatever. Any driveway culvert is 15 minimum, and any cross culvert is upgraded to an 18 minimum. And then based on this historical data, it did increase again, but some steps have already been made, going way back. I don't think they're in the ordinances yet.
There's a 15-inch culvert in an ordinance for a new culvert. On not a cross culvert, but a driveway culvert,
Yeah,
the ordinance is 15 inches
minimum,
minimum.
Yeah. okay.
And
And cross culverts have already been, I think unofficially increased to 18 inch minimum.
that may be,
Yeah.
that one I don't know that, okay.
And I think the road does need a light grade. But gravel needs to be added to the sandy spot.
Yeah, I agree with the gravel.
Yeah.
There's a couple of potholes, but
Yeah,
they're easy to miss, you know, it's not like you're bouncing all the way down the road.
right.
And I'm very particular about the road that my vehicle runs on, because I've only got about that much,
Right.
coverage, in it.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, back to roads.
On the getting these, one of the things that I noticed is like Pike Industries, their asphalt bid now is 25% less than their asphalt bid was last September. And it's kind of in the ballpark, they're all less. And so one of the things that I would suggest is we just ask Brian whenever we can get a hold of him, or unless you guys can do it, that we just double check and make sure that we didn't leave something out. that needs to be done. I mean, when I see a 25% decrease. That could be because now they know there's competition. Or I wanna make sure we didn't leave anything out.
Or we put out a big enough, there's all kinds of reasons, it could be a big enough package.
Yeah, no, it's fine, and I'm.
Hard to get in their head to figure it
Yeah,
out.
just make sure that we didn't leave anything out, that we're buying what we need. Now, there's a termination.
Difference between what we were bidding in 25, the numbers were, it's not like the bigger package, it's not like we're doubling the amount of work.
I think last year we did $200,000 worth of work.
200 and 300, it was rough, the bid was 281.
What? The last payment we did?
In the fall,
Yeah, 200.
you got 226 plus all the other prep work,
Yeah.
everything that went with it.
The whole price, but that included the legal review and the prep work and the trees and all that stuff, yeah. I'm just saying, with the unit prices, we can look and it is a big decrease, which is great, love it. Just I wanna make sure it's not because we left something out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The contract has a provision that you should have in all government contracts, a termination for convenience. So like if we ran out of money or something before this work was started, we could delete some of these roads. You can't award them later. Without an agreement, their bid expires in 21 days after 20 days after it was awarded.
You don't wanna get that reputation
Yeah,
out there,
yeah.
nobody's gonna wanna bid.
And I think. I think Shannon awarding to the low bidder has helped us. And I think maybe we did have a reputation. And it was difficult getting people to bid, but maybe not.
You think from one $20,000 difference in a bid that we got a reputation from
Maybe.
all contractors statewide?
But I was told from some of the contractors.
One of the contractors?
Well, that was speaking on behalf of two of the other family businesses that were local. To
I don't think the $1,000 gonna change the way they bid.
Yeah.
Well, they started talking about this one and two more vendors reached out to me in the last 2 days.
Something brought Pike to the meeting this time. Because.
So I guess looking back to what we
I
really
think
need to
that-
accomplish here is we need to decide if we award a bid for part one. And secondly, decide what we wanna do for part two, and how much of part two do we really wanna bite off, and how much do we wanna maybe wait on? I honestly believe that Berry Road can wait, it should wait, we should get that culvert road done before we even think about awarding a paving bid.
Okay. Well, we had talked about that and said it was gonna get done this fall, or this spring, before they.
Time, it's already June.
You know,
What needs to happen by the cemetery on the.
okay, so
The old Civil War cemetery,
The state's probably under there.
something needs to change
It
soon
looks-
with that.
I don't know anything about roads other than that I drive on them, and it looked pretty bad to me when I drove on it.
It is pretty bad, but it's not, you don't wanna be doing paving on it, you wanna be doing
Yes,
under
yes,
there
yes,
first.
In my mind, it scored as worse than the others, but traffic wise was so much less that. You gotta make a
So
determination.
when you do that culvert, you should be able to do that top of that hill at the same time,
so
by the Revolutionary War Cemetery.
If we do the help, are we gonna do the help?
We've been talking about it, but nobody's been,
we need, okay. My other question is that I was approached and said that we're being too strict, so should we go to a consensus instead of a vote? A or nay, as far as the committee is concerned? And a consensus simply means that we agree that this is what we should do, but we don't ask people to raise their hands and say A or yay or nay. Should we and I'm asking the committee, should we do that? Or should we say yay and nay?
Question, please.
Sir,
How were you being too strict?
we were following Robert's rules very tightly.
Okay,
And some people wanted to go consensus more than Robert's rules, a yay and nay.
I think it was
I
just-
personally wanted a little more freedom of speech.
I think it was the ass chewing that got the,
Yeah.
that got
I just wanted
the comment.
more open conversation like this right now, more than one person could talk at the same time. And
You don't need to vote.
I'm fine with the vote, I don't have an issue with it.
So you don't care if 5 people are talking at the same time?
Oh, not always,
Well, I'm just saying, because that's what was happening in the
but
last
on
3 meetings.
occasion, like you and I are talking right now.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
It is, but if they're having a discussion about money and we're talking about something else, I don't know what was being talked about.
We don't,
That's why I
if
did.
you and I are talking about this and those guys wanna momentarily talk about something, I don't think it needs to be that strict.
I would suggest if somebody's confused or can't follow something because of multiple conversations, they say, hey, guys, I'm having a problem following this.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we turn it down.
I'm following this.
Yeah,
and that's fine, okay, just, so. From the committee, what is our recommendation of the town concerning this piece of paper?
I think we have to vote on number 1. Award. Base bid, start there, get that off the table, then we can continue.
Okay,
Question,
go,
when we award the base bid, do we have to tell them anything about the alternate bids?
that all needs to be awarded. We need to make a contract that includes the base and whatever alternates we're gonna award, because in 20 days, all the bids expire.
It was suggested to me that if alternate bid items were awarded to, it would be best to also kind of go with the lowest bid for those, even if it's a separate contract.
Well, it will be the same. You could award 2 contracts. Pike for the base and Wellman for the alternates. I'm just making that up.
Right.
But I would suggest that's a bad policy. If I would suggest we went out with a package, you got a really good price from Pike, if you think that's a qualified bidder. If you think they're qualified and they can do the job and do it well, then I think your decision on who gets it is made. And it should be all the base and alternatives that you're going to award. That'd be my recommendation.
And I
It
think
might help
they're,
for their planning.
I think they're low there too, correct?
When I did some rough adding on all the alternates together, Pike still came out less.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, I'm here again assuming on the individual projects, they're probably very close, if not less.
Now, Shannon, when you were out getting us some unit prices,
Mhm.
it was raised that maybe they intended for us to put Richland Hills Road as an add alternate, and we didn't. And so, or Richland Mills Road, Richland Mills Road. And so somebody brought up, could we negotiate with Pike to do Richmond Mills instead of one of these other roads at the unit price that they bid? Have I got that right? That's what you guys had talked about?
For the overlay?
No, for
Yes.
the reclaim. Okay.
At our last meeting, we said that Richmond Mills, the overlay that they did, or not the overlay, but
Right.
when they put the shim down, it wasn't any good.
Right.
So we recommended that Richmond Mills then be reclaimed as a 2-inch base. And then,
And we said we wanted to do it there road in an effort to keep things right,
right,
There.
together,
hopefully
So,
save some.
that, and for, for some reason. Richmond didn't get put on here, so. Dave, I think you made a motion that we accepted Pike as the contractor for the base course, is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying we need to address it, but yes, they are the low bidder. It appears that they should be able to get it. And that's the
Do you
direction.
second
we should
that?
be going.
I second that.
Okay,
TJ and Brian did add in their comment that they also agree with Pike, not that they're here and not that they're weighing in on a vote, but just so you know.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I agree with you, so that passed. We recommend the town that they do the base, Pike does all 6 bases.
Base bid, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would also make a motion to start with that we do numbers 1 and 2. And award them. Which would be, I believe, according to my calculations, it would also be Pike Industries. 1 and 2 being Fairbanks and Hardscrabble.
you're talking about the alternate bid
Alternate.
items. Okay,
If you did 1, 2, and 3, you're up to 60, you're 653, 4. Although Berry Road, you don't want to do that, is that correct? You don't want to do Berry Road because we don't have the Richmond Mills. So Berry Road's off
I
now
would
from
hold it.
consideration.
well,
Okay, so then if you're not gonna consider Berry Road, do you want to do Lake Shore? If you don't do Berry Road, but you added Lake Shore, so you would have 3 reclaim roads.
653, you said?
I had 653, 400 for, here's what that was for.
That leaves, I'm just guessing, that leaves us around 40,000. And
Yeah, but that's if you do Berry Road, and you just told me you don't want to.
I'm just trying to quickly
Oh,
figure out how
oh.
much Richmond Mills might cost.
Oh, well, yeah, and we could leave off,
Should we pull, so my question is like, what, I'm just in my mind, what is similar to Richmond Mills?
What-
It's very short. but I
what was
don't have
that?
anything.
Hold on, Richmond Mills, we can tell you right here, it's 2,570 feet by 20. So it's, 2570 by 20, let's see what alternatives that's close to. Hard scrabble is 2693 by 20,
So it's very simple.
so it's very similar, it's a little more, oh no, it's about the same as hard scrabble.
Yeah.
So that's what, so you can figure it would be around,
5,000.
yeah, yeah, 85, let's say 88,000, just for the heck of it.
You think you just loop it in?
Well,
We would have to negotiate with them, and then first off, express your recommendation and concern to the road commissioner. And then she would come to the select board and say, there's nothing in the law against it. She's gonna come to the select board and say, the road committee recommends adding Richland Mills Road and wants me to contact the contractor and see if we can negotiate that in at the same price on our award, and I'm sure they'll say yes.
Right,
well,
but that would leave us $45,000 shy.
I guess my recommendation is
Unless
that we put Barry and Richmond next year. Do Lake Shore. And get the Barry Road culvert done this year.
If we did Berry Road culvert now and these alternates were in the fall, which they're gonna be, would that suffice you for sidling time on the culvert? Or- Remember, it's just a binder, it doesn't get the surface. That's true.
If we get it all done in time. You know? So you're thinking loop Barry and Richmond together after do the culvert immediately, as soon as we can get it, bid out, get the culvert done.
Yeah.
And then loop in Barry and Richmond together,
And leave Lake Shore off.
leave Lake Shore, because we were gonna put Lake Shore, actually, we Tucker with Lake Shore, but that never got added either. Those can wait, those aren't quite as critical right now.
Right. That's flat.
Okay, so the recommendation is. Just as soon as we can.
Yeah.
And then do 1, 2, and 3. And leave Lake Shore off.
Yeah.
And 3 includes both Barry and Richmond Mills.
Yeah.
That's our recommendation.
What's the number of money come up at?
It's gonna, the money is gonna be over.
But we've got 300,000 for next, as of July 1.
We could borrow the 50
grand. 300,000 and go into it.
Well, yeah,
That's
you might have a cap, I'm looking more if you got the money that's left over from the maintenance, but if then that's real money. But I don't know how much of that is going to be spent on these culverts, like how much do you think it's gonna cost to do this culvert work that you're talking about?
Gotta get a bid.
Okay, no idea, all right. If. 53, 400 plus
Checks and beds.
88,000. 741. That leaves you with like 50,000 in the hole and no contingency. If you plan to do that. Now, you could always, take off hardscrabble. If you wanted to do Barry,
Priority.
I understand, I'm just saying is what you have, what you have money for. If you want to, like if you want to do Berry Road and Richmond Mills and Hardscrabble and Fairbanks, you don't have that much money.
Yeah, we can't do.
Right.
You're $50,000 in the hole.
Right now, we don't, but if we're gonna push this into the fall, which is new money.
Yeah. Now, you do have a provision in the contract that allows us to terminate for convenience, which basically means if we're out of money and they haven't started work, we can take things off.
Hold on, time out. We shouldn't even be talking about it, because there's prep work on Fairbanks Road. And gravel that should be added to Fairbanks Road. We haven't checked the culverts on Fairbanks Road. We haven't checked Berry, hardscrabble cross culverts. And, yeah, so we shouldn't even discuss it.
So then I would recommend that you put off Berry Road until next year.
Yeah.
And put it on a bid with Richmond Mills.
Okay.
And I think that probably is more fiscally sound with the money that we have.
Especially if we've gotta do a lot of prep, we're gonna have to do a lot of prep on Fairbanks.
Fairbanks.
Here we have it up high priority.
Fairbanks needs some.
I even think we're getting a little thin even the way it is, cause we haven't taken into account the whole project.
Yeah.
Tree trimming, even hardscrabble, tree trimming, culverts, shimming, some gravel's gonna be in there, there's some rocks coming up through, gonna be dug out. You gotta after you pave it, you gotta do that back, what do you call that, when you back swab it, but. Yeah. Wow, these are all money items.
The bids for hardscrabble, and if you did hardscrabble in Fairbanks and you leave Berry for next year and you don't do Lakeshore, just this stuff here with no overruns is 528, 121. So from 692, that leaves you like $164,000 of your road reserve. After covering just these bid amounts. Now, you may have some overruns on asphalt, you may have the tree work and stuff, so this is not just, but that probably is fiscally sound, because you also have whatever the balance is of this year's funds that end up to be unspent on the road maintenance.
That vote's going ahead again.
That what?
Has that made it to the warrant
Yeah.
already?
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
Warrant.
well, it hadn't been voted on by the town, but we put the warrant article says to transfer the funds up, yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
You said we had to do that every year.
Yes, you do have to do that every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is our recommendation on the add alternates?
1 and 2 only,
Hardscrabble and Fairbanks.
1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, R 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're 1 and 2.
They're not on there.
Yeah, on the bid items, it's
Yeah.
bid items A2,
On-
A2B and A3, and
Keith and
A3.
Dave got done, it's 1 and 2. On that pink,
Yeah.
blocking.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's 1 and 2 on that.
right, but for a motion, it should be A2B, A2A, A2B, 8-3A, and A3B.
Let's just say hardscrabble.
That'll work too. That'll work.
I just wanna make sure we don't say 1 and 2 then.
Well, my number's 1.
So do we have a motion on that?
Yeah,
1 and 2.
yeah, out of the alternates.
Everything
on the base.
Is 1 and 2,
And 1 through 6 on the base.
and yeah, well, that's done. The base is already done.
Uh,
We made that motion,
Okay.
it's passed. So what we're doing now is we're saying we're gonna do Hardscrabble and Fairbanks
As alternates.
in either this summer or in the fall. Okay. In a second, so Mark and Dave,
Yes.
and it's passed. Okay. So, is
But
there
we
any-
need to get the bids out for the culvert on Barry Road and get started on that as soon as we can.
okay,
Well, before that, you need to do the other ones,
And we're
but
gonna
they
do-
can all, they should all go out as one package. Berry Road could be, I mean, you do them however you want, doesn't matter.
so our recommendation to the town, just to Shannon and is to get the preparation work bid out as soon as possible.
Right.
And using the sheet that Taylor and Mark did
Now,
as a
yes,
base.
unfortunately, Taylor Mark's sheet does not include arch gravel and Fairbanks.
No,
Road.
that's not, because it wasn't
Um,
surveyed.
And last year, at the meeting when it was awarded, the representative from the paving contractor said there was no problem with adding gravel and grinding it in. But when the result actually came to tuition out on the job, there was a problem. They wanted to charge for that and they wanted to.
Well, they might be an extra as far as the charge goes, but technically it'll work. It does, it's a good way to, yeah, you can do that, okay.
Previously done with Pike Industries, it wasn't an issue. And it wasn't an issue for the representative last year, but when we got out to the field, it was an issue. So we need to somehow, maybe we have to ask first, maybe we have to ask if, when it gets awarded, it's a select board meeting. That they're not gonna be out there in the field, and I don't believe that they would, because they haven't ever in the past. But that is something that how do we address that? It's a question, right?
I would have, if I understood this, when putting this together, I would have had that in as an alternate bid item. Okay, where they would bid on adding gravel by the cubic yard and grinding it in.
We don't want them to add their gravel.
Mm-hmm.
We want somebody else to put the gravel in. We just.
Well, I'm just saying, if you ask me how to do it,
Yeah,
I'd say put it on as an alternate bid item to add gravel, and then the contractor's responsible for it. I think you just negotiate with them. I mean, if it has to be, if the gravel must be added, we're kind of, it's a good change order. But it's a matter of negotiation, and you should do it before it's added, but
We've got
you're
the-
gonna be,
We've got their reclaim price. All you gotta do is, that's your reclaim price. You add whatever's to it.
no, it doesn't add it.
It's
So-
just a matter of them going over the same.
It is.
ground.
Right,
it is,
yeah, but so historically, and with the representative that the last company sent, no problem, do it,
Bring it
right?
down, we grind it when it comes, yeah.
But then when we got to the job, it was an issue,
grinding of gravel over.
Over
Pavement.
but the issue was never raised till the day that it was happening.
Let me ask, how much gravel, when we're talking inches, how much gravel are you talking about adding? Is it
Eight
an inch?
inches.
You're gonna
Yeah.
add 8 inches of gravel?
They
In some
brought it
places.
down to 2 feet. There's
Well-
one particular spot on Fairbanks Road, or a lot of Fairbanks Road, is shaped like this.
Mhm.
So I suspect that they're not gonna be able to grade it out,
Mhm,
because the road, most of it is to be the wrong way.
mhm.
And then there's one spot down by Billy Pepper's pit thing
Mhm.
there, that just sinks away.
Mhm.
So that spot needs to be shimmed up.
Well, the main dot spec on recycle, it basically says you add gravel, you form the road profile that you want, and then they go through with their deal, okay? It's really a question for Brian, but if you had 8 inches of gravel, then you would just grind up the asphalt. You wouldn't be going any much below the asphalt, because that gives you a 10-inch lift that you have to try to compact, which is really too thick.
And you don't wanna put so much gravel, you don't get down and get that.
No, you want to get the asphalt in
Have to get the asphalt.
Well-
Can't make a sandwich.
yeah, and really, and again, ask Brian, but I think you'll find that there's an optimal mix of asphalt and gravel, and it's like 50-50 to give you a good base material.
Unfortunately, I believe, but the data hasn't been forwarded yet. That if we have 3 inches of hot top and they only do 3 inches of gravel, we haven't changed the structure of the road yet. So last year,
Mhm.
that's what they were doing, like that much.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to,
Yeah. We need to talk to the engineers, because I believe,
Right.
because I believe if you have 3 inches of gravel. I'm sorry, if you have 3 inches of asphalt and you grind to a 6 inch depth total, that's a good mix. But ask Brian, he's the engineer, but if you look up and say what's optimal, it's 50/50.
We just say full depth, all we say is full depth, we don't.
No, what we said in the deal is, the asphalt, and I think up to 8 inches, I have to look at RFP to see what we sent. May I see that? Cause hell, I can't remember that. Yeah. We said the entire depth of existing pavements shall be pulverized together with 4 or more inches, but not less than 8 inches total depth.
So 8, minimum of 8.
Minimum of 8 total depth. And we said the asphalt plus 4 inches of underlying gravel, but not less than 8 inches total. Now, if you put gravel, if you add 6 inches of gravel on top, then that's kind of out the window. Cause
You're
It's
not
a
gonna
new-
get there.
it's a new, yeah, it's a new deal. You just need to negotiate with them on what does this mean as far as cost goes.
which,
Mark, is there such a thing as you go through and you grind what's there, you grind the.
Yes.
And then you come back after
Yes.
and add your gravel on top.
yes, but the
Doesn't-
reason that I'm trying to avoid that is because then you pay twice for grading. That,
Gotta pay twice for grading and rolling. Unless, I guess it depends on how deep the lift is. I guess you could grind it. You could add the gravel on and grade it once. But then you don't have that mix of asphalt and gravel all through your base course.
right, so it's been done in the past and I didn't dream up this idea, I was taught in a DOT class. That's the most efficient way to get more gravel on your road,
Mhm.
so you're only paying for grading and
Once.
compacting once.
Yes,
And I have previous experience with that in another.
and it
town,
works.
And it worked excellent.
Okay, well
How did
then,
we do up on Marston Heights by the airport after Howard Homeless? We added in there when Pike ground that.
We dug out some clay and
Oh, we
then.
dug it out, added, then it ground.
Yes, and
Okay,
Pike again
was no problem.
was ultra accommodating. They brought the question to us, hey, we're grinding and. You know, we hit all this clay, what do you wanna do? They didn't keep on going like some other people do. They said, time out. What do you wanna do? We said, we'll dig it out, add the gravel. They held their equipment, they compacted it, graded it, no extra charge.
Yeah.
Very professional.
So we had brought up another problem that we have never talked about before then, and that is on Fairbanks Road. Who was going to go out and look at it and say, this area to this area, we want 6 inches of gravel? Or are we gonna ask Brian to do that? Or are we just gonna tell him to put 6 inches of gravel on all of Fairbanks Road?
I don't think all of Fairbanks Road needs 6 inches of gravel, but.
Well, I'm just saying, so, but we need to tell.
When I look at a road like this,
But we
I
need,
say there's no way they're getting it to look like that without adding something.
but we need to tell the town to ask the contractor to put gravel on road, on station 1 to station 1.75.
except there are no stations.
So who?
And there are no profiles.
But- so
We have
who-
no profiles longitudinally
but-
or cross
So who's gonna
profiles.
do that?
Brian and I could work on that,
Okay,
but I can't speak for Brian.
no, I understand.
I think he would be willing to go
Brian,
out and do
we
that.
are clerk of the works when we do these projects, we do the inspector.
And can we have it done in 2 weeks?
That,
Yeah,
that's,
to put the gravel, to say, we want gravel from, what I like is your,
Yeah,
I like your mailbox. That works, I think that works really well on.
well,
these
stations
roads.
work the best, but there's nobody.
Well,
that
there's no
go
way
out and
that-
Put out the
Right,
stations, right?
so, but if you use mailboxes, you've got it.
Yeah.
So if you use a mailbox
We
and
use
say, go from
mailboxes.
mailbox to mailbox.
Yes, yep.
And put in 6 inches of gravel or 4 inches or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're willing to do that, and bring it back in 2 weeks. So that when we put the bid out, we can say, we want gravel in here. Sir,
We're gonna award this contract on the next Tuesday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
The gravel, we can do that.
Yeah, the
separate.
gravel will come after, gravel comes after. I mean, the contract's gonna be awarded next Tuesday. That's what we told people.
okay,
So if we have a conversation with the contractor when you award
Yeah.
the contract,
I'd award it after, then just talk to them and negotiate with them.
okay.
And have whatever you get, make the best deal you can. At that point in time, that's your options. You make the best deal you can. He
You
wants,
that prices right
he wants,
here.
uh,
You already know
yeah.
that price.
And I don't think it's gonna be an
and
issue.
maybe, okay, yeah.
so, do we need gravel on hard scrap?
Yes, yes, hard scrap going down that hill. You don't think so?
It's mostly shaped. No, it's just got
Let's
this
travel.
compaction issue in the middle, but it's
Yeah.
mostly got shade.
So be that.
It's not like this, they just have a little dip in the middle where they must have done 2 lanes.
Well,
separately or
I guess
something.
then what I'm gonna ask you, Mark, is if you will look at both hard.
We have to look, yeah, we will look at both.
If you look at both of them.
You can check the
and
cross
come back
culverts on which we go.
Cross culverts and.
Driveway culvert.
Check with Shen-
Yes. As
The
long as,
driveway, we don't care about on the base.
when we made the
We're gonna do
first,
reclaim,
Be good to have it surveyed though.
okay,
it would, in a perfect world, we do them before,
I know.
we just never had time,
Right.
but maybe this year we'll have time.
Okay, well, yeah, so you're willing, you're willing to do that, and
Yeah.
Brian can go with you, and then you get back to the town by next. When do you need it, Shannon, next Monday? To grab the amount of gravel to put on
Well,
roads?
It's separate.
Award the contract and negotiate with the guy after
Okay.
award. There's, these bids are firm. There's no talking to him before an award.
Just hear that.
You know, it's here's your award
It's fine.
and then we, yeah, then
Okay.
negotiate after
And
that.
that answers the question,
On
Henry.
their schedule anyway.
Yeah,
That Henry just finally answered the question, there you go.
Okay, so,
That's when we bring it up.
yeah.
okay, so then what, the motion on the floor is to do 1 and 2.
Hard scrabble and Fairbanks.
Hard
Yeah,
hard scrabble and
Fairbanks.
Fairbanks,
Yeah.
to reclaim and 2-inch base.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
and it's passed,
Yes, sir.
okay. Did you wanna bring up anything about telephone poles today?
I was supposed to make a list
Mhm.
and I didn't.
Okay. so-
However, it's essentially every road in town.
Okay, so we'll put that on the variance till
Take the
our
pines
next
off
meeting,
first.
Yes.
okay,
Sure.
sir,
Question on telephone poles, and I noticed
well,
this,
telephone power, but yes.
I noticed this on the poles, there's a lot of pink and green tape
It's
on them,
is tree trim. They had a mulcher head, CNP. Put that on all the poles because their mulcher head and trim guys need them. You
okay,
know that big machine they lay down there?
Oh, yeah.
Got that saw.
I just didn't know what all this was about.
We're talking about double telephone poles where they don't remove the old pole.
Okay.
Poles, I was informed that they have an identification on them as
Yeah.
far as who they belong to.
Do you need that off of the
In
pole?
order to ask who, like them to come and remove it, I have to specify where it is, and so knowing who it belongs to would be helpful.
They have that and they also have a pole number on them.
So we have poll numbers?
Phone number.
They're a pole.
So that's the way you take care of your road deal. You go from poll
number.
number to poll number. We're talking about station marks?
Yeah.
You got, if you
we've
could do
used that
telephone,
before, too.
yeah, do
Yeah.
poll numbers.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do that instead of.
I think that makes better sense than mailboxes, but poll
Because
numbers,
that-
if the polls are numbered, that's how
I
you.
mean, it is the thing that they had to ask the town commission to set those poles at one time, right? Like
But that's way,
There's no.
way back.
Yeah,
most of them are owned by the telephone company,
right.
not the electric company.
Right,
That's what I'm
but
saying, yeah, they have.
but we gave them an easement to put power lines, maybe it was 100 years ago, I don't know when. But it's my understanding that the town had to be in agreement with either the telephone company or the electric company. And we gave them easements. That's why they're not on private property, they're in the roadway. So,
So you're gonna do that. Do we wanna talk about a sandwich on the bog area on Dexter Pond Road? Or
talk about the whole road.
but do we wanna, I would like to put 2 inches of crushed shale. Through that 300 foot section. where it's in the bog.
You can try it, you can try it, it's gonna hurt.
You're gonna lose it next spring.
Yeah,
It's gonna be gone.
I know it's gonna sink, but at least,
The fabric is not that much money.
well, but don't you have to tear out the gravel that's there to put the fabric down?
So the way we fixed things before was we take that surface that's there now,
Yeah,
roll out fabric,
yeah,
put 8 or so inches of gravel on it, 4 inches of crushed ledge. And that problem has never come back again.
okay, so then.
So you put your fabric right on top of the existing
road,
pavement.
yeah.
Existing road, okay. Should we make a recommendation to the
You
town?
have to keep them back.
I said pavement, but the gravel.
Should we make a recommendation to town to do that? I know we wanna build the whole road, but
Right.
for the next
Yeah,
3 years until we get that done. Should we
It's
put
a
it in-
Band-Aid, but you have to, it's maintenance, yes, yes, you do
Should we
it.
make the
And
recommendation?
you said it's
to
worked,
do
it's worked, give me an example, it worked there.
Chico's, Lord Road, Harts Gravel Road, Lord Road before.
In that little
Right around
restaurant?
the corner and then the
Soft
beginning
spot.
of Lord Road. Everywhere, when we had, bad soft spots years, then we would make a list and this. Who knows where the records are, but we will do from pole to pole
Okay.
and a dimension, and then we went and laid out the fabric. and-
So there's no binder that you need to put down on the gravel, you just put it down over the fabric and roll it?
It's just the band.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying it's that, but that's the
But if
procedure,
it's-
and then,
We take
so
the,
you put it down and compact it and it stays okay
You don't even-
for a while.
You're in compact.
Okay.
don't even compact.
Oh, you don't even roll it? Oh,
Well, you
okay.
can, but you put the fabric down.
Yeah.
You put the clean gravel,
Uh-huh.
then you put 4 inches of crushed, or, yeah, 4 inches of gravel. The ledge, you stop
Uh-huh.
for McGee or Pike. And you walk away.
Just one piece of felt?
Two.
You fix it,
Just two.
the one on top and one on the bottom.
no, no.
You don't make a sandwich.
No, you're just keeping the pines from below, the
From-
muddy stuff that's down.
From,
So the
from migrating up,
Well,
from migrating up into
Yeah,
your, actually, you're keeping your rocks from migrating down through the mud.
The hydraulics bring the mud back.
I think so.
There's two different ways that that's done, so, okay, so you recommend just the single,
Yes.
piece of, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's two, because it's double wide, but
If I'm not mistaken, the fabric is still sitting at the salt shed for that job.
okay, so.
Perfect.
There you go.
Can we have a motion that we ask the town to look into that?
I'll make a motion that we ask
Yeah,
the town,
go ahead. And get it done with it.
and I would say from the end of the tar. To. The great big pine tree, I don't, we have to get a measurement.
The bad part is 300 feet.
Yeah, but you might as well start right at the top,
Okay,
and that's probably 100 feet back, this side of the bad part, but.
Would it be possible for your committee maybe to get Brian or somebody to make a fairly detailed statement of work and specification that they can give to Shannon that she can put out?
Yes,
Like so many feet long by so many feet wide, grade the existing gravel, install a geotextile fabric in this much gravel on top and roll or whatever, something that she can send out and get bids on.
yes,
Thank you.
Do we want to ask Brian to do
Yeah,
that?
let Brian do that, that'd be good. That's,
Brian,
he'll show up next
put that
time,
on
but
the
work.
list of the other two things that Brian and I were gonna do. Actually, I will very sure that they don't actually don't.
Okay, anything else to come before the committee today?
There was some budget stuff that I thought it was something that I didn't like. It looked like you're lowering tree, or brushing tree. Lowering,
I don't know, we can get a warrant, look at it. Do you wanna?
Yeah, I think we had gone down maybe 5 or 10,000 for 2 different categories. I think it was between maybe ditching and I think we'll get it.
Yeah, let's get a warrant, take a look, cause I don't remember.
There was a $5,000 drop in.
Okay, hey, Shannon, he has it already. Dave has one.
You wanna look at that? Plowing went up, so.
Dave has it. Now, there are, Shannon can maybe cover this, where it's like, consumer price index gets released, I think, tomorrow, so it'd be interesting to see. How that would affect the plow price, taking it as of today, because of all the
I think we,
Gulf War stuff.
three of us need to discuss that, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
proper to do it.
Here, that's fine. Yeah.
And not the CIP, the contractor general.
Yeah,
Yeah, brush and tree, we took 5,000 off. Wow.
I think it maybe had to do with what we'd spent in the past. We hadn't spent it.
We hadn't done it.
We hadn't done it, I mean, for a number of years.
But
And
remember,
so
you can move around within that.
we can move around within the deal. We can, you
I
can move around
understand.
within the box.
I understand that. We lowered calcium chloride also.
Cause we got a price.
Right, we did have the
You're the one that's above the price, I thought.
Which price are you using?
for the calcium chloride, it was based off the pallets, how much we had. Forgot how much per pallet, but that was the KV call pricing we had talked about in the previous infrastructure meeting.
Right, wrong price, wrong product. Still in 50-pound bags. I sent you another price,
Right, but that was less than how much was per pallet, so
less than KV Cogs price.
less amount per pallet, per bag, like overall too. Like if
Right.
you added it all up, I think it was like 1,500 versus 200.
Who's spreading it?
I'm gonna find someone to spread it.
Okay, let's say it's me, because I've done it in the past.
Yes.
Who is gonna open all those 50-pound bags and put them in my dump truck? Cause I am not going to do that.
Now, is it 50-pound bags
It
or
was
is
the
it big?
same as last year, is how we did it, and
Big bag tote, wasn't it?
That's Paris Farmers Unit price. KV Cogs price was for 50-pound bags.
we did
Pallet
KV cog
hats.
last year as well.
No, we did Paris Farmers Unit last year.
Then what, down to Paris Farmers Union and picked it up?
They deliver it to us.
Okay.
I unload it.
Yeah.
And they unload it depending on which truck they have.
Look, cause I know Bryce had already scheduled it through KV cog and I had just called them and ordered it because we had discussed that.
Okay, if it comes in 50-pound bags from KV Cog,
Yeah,
find somebody to open the bags.
Okay.
Because the price is not apples for apples if you gotta open 50-pound bags.
Mhm.
Okay,
that's sodium chloride you're talking about.
calcium.
Calcium
chloride.
Yeah.
That's the best pallet that we put down.
The gravel got lowered from 40,000 to 30,000, so that's $10,000 down.
But we haven't been using it. I mean, I don't
No
know.
gravel at the shed.
Yeah.
So we
But you
need,
can use money out of that to do some of this prep work too. It is very.
Yeah, you have some, what, and this year's. You got this year's to spend. If you need gravel, go get some gravel. You got until the end of June to get all the gravel you want out of this year's budget.
I'm uncomfortable
Yeah.
with seeing the budget get lowered because the work didn't get done.
Well, yeah,
Because the
but,
work needs to be.
but here's the thing, if we need gravel, there's no gravel at the shed, we need gravel, great. Buy it before the end of June.
But is that what it's, why the gravel got lowered 10,000?
I think because for a number of years, it hasn't been using that much.
It's a historical curve.
It's a historical curve, it hadn't been used that much for a long time.
Right.
I really wasn't in on that personally, but I understand that was the deal, wasn't it, Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's all the more reason we need to keep that capital account.
Just
there,
saying,
too.
why is you cut in that budget?
Well, okay, so anything else?
Move adjourned.
oh, what about, may I ask you a question?
Here, Kenson.
Did you guys want to do something about weighing in or making recommendations on closing roads for winter maintenance or whatever? I know you've talked about that in the past, no?
No.
Okay,
That was on to be determined. One of the
Okay.
questions about the whole thing is how far are we obligated to do now?
okay,
Because we don't know that.
okay.
And how do we find out how far we're obligated to do? Thinking like the White Road, where does our line stop on the White Road?
I think you're obligated to do the whole White Road, and that's why you ought to address it. sometime before November. Now, we're not doing it the whole White Road because nobody lives down there. But it's a town way and it hasn't been, it's right now not closed for winter maintenance.
How many others are there?
We need to,
Four houses past that.
Well, no, you're talking.
oh, you mean houses, roads or houses on White Road? What are you asking? How
Four,
many
there's
others?
five total. Four
No, I
houses.
meant how many roads, we know White Road's a hot spot.
Yeah, how many other roads are there?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
Fireman Road. Should we, but that's.
Well,
Is that the one where the people died that used to have the meat
Down in the
store?
scrap corner over here.
Yeah.
Going to Winter.
Huh? Okay, by like, okay,
okay, Kent.
oh, all right, okay.
Kent Hill Road is one, because we don't know where the end of, we don't know where the town is responsible at the end of Kent Circle.
Well,
And we discontinued
think-
a road
Well,
that somebody's actually living on. unless
I
it-
think that that's the problem. Here's what I was going to suggest. I don't know if this is something your committee wants to address or not, but if it is, Shannon should send you all, there's a chapter in the MMA Roads Manual that deals with closing roads, abandoning roads, all, everything you want to know about getting out of roads or getting into roads. And if you guys want to weigh in on that, you need to have that for your information. If it's not something that your committee is going to address, then you don't need it.
Well, we ought to see it, we ought to look at it. Kinda
Yeah,
comes under the
because it kind of tells
My
you.
concern is
Yeah.
we weren't proactive on the White Road.
Mhm.
We all thought it was, I mean, I honestly thought it was closed for winter maintenance, but there's a 10-year, you have to do it every 10 years. So it flipped around. Maybe we have some other skeletons laying out there that people are gonna build a house and all of a sudden, hey, you gotta
Yeah.
plow my road.
Yeah, and once you got residents on there, I think it becomes a problem. So I don't know if you're gonna be able, I think if you close White Road for winter maintenance, it may be past a certain point.
But,
We
I
would
think-
still have to accommodate the people that are there now, you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying it's an issue. There has to be public hearing.
You have to get a petition.
Yeah, and so I don't, know, you know,
And the farm road would be an issue then too.
Yes.
So there are four roads that I can think of we've talked about. One is Lincoln Point. Cause we don't know, do we know the exact end of Lincoln Point? I don't believe we do. Farnham
we
Road,
know where we think it is.
Yeah, I know.
White Road raised a whole new set of
yeah,
concerns.
but White Road and
Exactly.
Kentser Road are the four roads that I can think of that we don't know where the end is. So we can say, we're gonna go this far. But then we're gonna back off from where we're responsible
Well,
to the first house that's been built.
Farm Road falls into that category too.
Because the house there,
Do we
Anyway,
stop at the
so,
house, do we stop
do we
past
want-
the house, like what's his driveway, what isn't the
the road
driveway?
ends at the house.
But.
Do we,
Farnham Brook doesn't go any further than the house.
do we wanna take
Follow
one?
a turnaround that we don't probably have an easement to turn around, or where do you put the snow when you get to the house? Like,
Do we wanna take that on as a committee? For winter maintenance. Or if we don't take it on, who will?
well, it's the road commissioner's deal. I'm just, what I was asking, is that something that that the infrastructure committee wants to be making recommendations on?
We probably should, technically we should.
do we, if nothing else, do we make a recommendation that on those roads? That. If the 10-year window was on any of those, do we talk about that?
The 10-year road.
What, I'm sorry, Mark, the 10-year window on what?
Like White Road came up as there was a 10-year window about closing for winter maintenance. right?
Yes,
So Kent Hill Road, right?
if
That-
it's closed for winter maintenance,
We don't.
that
know what
closes,
the status is.
well, then it's not. If it's a town way, you have to maintain it.
Closed in the last 10 years.
Yeah, nothing's been closed, so whatever is a town way, I mean, that's the key, if it's a town way, then the town is responsible for summer and winter maintenance. But there's a statute that says you may close portions of a road or the entire road for winter maintenance if you follow this procedure. And then it only is good for 10 years, so you have to redo it every 10 years.
But that road, the maintenance stops at the sign that says end of town road.
Yeah, if
Is
it's
that
not, if it's
legit?
not a town way, then we don't, it's not our problem, just like any private road.
Is it?
Well,
Well,
there
they're
should-
stopping in the right place.
Well, I don't know, we were working on a map with the guy from the state to designate all of this stuff from a it's not exactly a station point like you would have on a, but from an A point to B point.
Yeah,
And there's a map that we're getting.
And do we as a committee want to get the booklet, look at it and make the recommendations?
Sure, yes.
Okay. So,
Henry, I think the only road that comes to mind that we really could do anything with, anything, is the White Road, starting where that house is now and beyond, so we don't get the same.
Yeah,
No,
no,
we
that's
don't
the
get
thing.
the
You might,
same
yeah, you might
pickup
wanna close
in
the
2
rest of
years.
it. Yeah,
When somebody builds even beyond that house.
well, there's,
We've inherited that house now, we own it, I'm sorry.
yeah, well, we know that.
yeah.
there's 4 houses past that,
But
but
they are,
that night would come, if one of them decides to move into one of those houses year round.
But-
we can't say no to going to their house if we just said yes to going to that dude's house.
can we?
It's still a town road.
That's the question, but those aren't, are those houses, or are they just summer?
Well, that's the situation since COVID. Everybody moves into these non-houses houses and live here year round.
They're uninhabited houses.
We need to get the recommendation.
They're inhabited in the summer.
We need to get the booklet, look through it to see if,
Yeah.
then we can do it.
Yeah, let's send you the chapters out of that, so
Yeah.
everybody knows what the deal is. Hell, I've read it, but I don't remember it.
Dexter Pond Road is one of those roads that was always good enough. Then they all live there year round,
And,
right? And now it's like, what do we do with all this traffic?
It morphed, yes.
are there any other things?
I guess we gotta survey the roads and find out how many other skeletons we have lurking about.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know the end of this road. Well, we don't really know where that road ends.
There's a
Lincoln Point's pretty obvious. It ends with a damn gate there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, this
See,
one
the-
has a sign.
The issue with Lincoln's Point was this, the town took that over at some point in time, and it said, we're accepting Lincoln's Point Road from here to here. And none of that's filled in.
It goes here to here, but no, there's no.
Yeah, it's a blank, there's a blank, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a blank that's not filled in,
Okay.
Open
and-
for,
and so that's the problem with like, and maybe there's another, that's the copy. That's in a town report.
Mhm.
You know, maybe we need to find, maybe there's another minutes of a town meeting or something somewhere where that was put in. Before, maybe it was put in on the actual warrant that was posted, but not what was included in the town report. So we need to find out if that was specified. I could see that happening where they say, we'll fill it in on the warrant and the town report gets printed first and the blank's not filled in.
So can we have, Shannon, will you just look for and send us that?
My chapter, yes.
That chapter, and we'll look at it at our next meeting. Okay, do we have any other things to bring up, and if not, when would you like to meet again? Or do you want to meet again, I guess is what I should say. And it's kind of up, you're really busy between now and town meeting, and the town meeting is what, the middle of June?
That was 1 month away.
June 10th.
Do we need to do anything else as a road committee? Infrastructure committee, sorry about that, I'll get there someday. Do we need to do anything else as an infrastructure committee that you can think of now between now and town meeting? Mark?
Well, we gotta get these projects up and running. Can we just assume they're gonna happen or? do we-
Yeah, well, they'll be, I think Shannon's gonna take award recommendations to the select board on the meeting on the 19th. I won't be here, but
And then we'll just start getting bids out, getting some of this prep work done.
yeah, the pepper, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the bids for the,
Bids.
I've gotta,
Yeah, the bids,
I've gotta go into the DOT specs and understand what it looks like goes into ditching and open up our culvert policies
Yeah.
and make sure that I have that all outlined specifically for.
You don't need
contract.
us to. No. Okay.
we may need to bug, you may wanna bug Brian about it.
Yeah, I've gotta also look at the roadside mowing contract, the grading contract, a lot of those contracts are up for renewal. So I've gotta rewrite a lot of them.
The 15th of June,
No,
Monday,
I'm only open the 8th of June, but that's right before town meeting.
that's, yeah.
So you don't meet after town meeting?
I don't know. Do you want me
So I
to?
don't, do
Why don't
we
we
need,
bump it to July? Do we even need to? I mean,
do we
can
need,
always-
do we need to meet before town meeting is my
No.
question to you. I don't think we do, because we've requested and we've recommended to the town those things that steps that we think they should take.
Right.
And that covers getting the roads ready, doing the preparation work, laying the base on the 6 roads. And then doing the reclaim and base on the 2 roads.
The information that Brian and I are gonna do is just gonna go directly to Shannon.
Yes.
Doesn't need to come through this committee.
You guys are, as far as I'm concerned, you guys are capable of doing that. And the other thing that to be done is to make recommend to the town to do the culvert on the Berry Road.
Yeah. that's what I'm-
So those are the things that we've recommended to the town to do. It really has covered everything until after
Town meeting.
town meeting. And unless there is something comes up, I don't see why we can't go to July.
Yep.
And if Shannon wants to get us together or talk with us, because I know you guys are in all the time to talk with her anyway, so. She picks your brain and you pick hers and the way it goes, and I think that's working pretty well, so. So July 6, 13, 20,
13.
July 13,
Yeah,
9:30 here. Okay. Thank you very much.
July 13th,
Mhm.
it's my birthday. I'm coming, bring a cake,
Happy birthday.
bring a cake for me.
Yeah, the last meeting was supposed to be on my birthday, it got canceled. Get a cake.
Okay.
Back a year ago, we were the road committee.
This is-
And then we moved